Hey everyone! Whether you're new around here or you've been with us for a while, we're so glad to have you on the Beavercraft channel. In today's video, we're diving into the exciting world of animal carving. If you're passionate about carving realistic wild animals, pets, or just looking to try something new, animal carving is a fun and rewarding project. We've got some awesome animals lined up for you today, like a deer, a llama, and a hippo. We chose these three because they're all unique, with distinct features, and they're perfect for practicing things like proportions and understanding how different body parts work together. So grab your tools and let's get started. Before we dive into carving, let's quickly go over the tools and wood you'll need. If all you've got is a single carving knife, no worries. You can totally start with that. But honestly, having a few extra tools can really expand your options and take your carvings to the next level. For carving animal figures, a sharp carving knife is essential. Beyond that, it's a good idea to add a gouge or a few of different sizes and sweeps to help shape the curves and remove wood. A V-tool is also fantastic for adding those fine touches that make your carving stand out. Using these tools together helps you create more depth and texture, giving your animals a more lifelike appearance. Now, let's talk about the wood. If you're just starting out, you'll want to stick with softer woods. They're easier to carve, which is perfect when you're still getting the hang of things. Basswood is an awesome choice for beginners. It has a smooth, even grain that's easy to work with and doesn't splinter, so you'll spend less time fighting the wood and more time perfecting your technique. Plus, it holds detail really well, which is perfect for creating some cool features in your animal projects. All right, now let's get carving. As we already mentioned, we're going to break down the steps for carving 3 different animal figures: a majestic deer, a quirky llama, and a hefty hippopotamus. First up, let's carve a deer. Deer are known for their graceful, elongated bodies and thin legs, so we're going to focus on creating that overall structure first. Start by shaping the body as a simple oval. This is the foundation, so don't worry about too many details just yet. So, for the first step, we're going to rough out the basic form. Take your carving knife or gouge or whatever tool feels most comfortable, and begin roughing out the body shape. Keep the oval shape smooth, but also remember that deer have a natural curve to their bodies, so don't make it too straight. Next, let's focus on the legs. Deer are known for their long, slender legs that taper down from the body. When carving, make sure the legs have a slight bend at the joints, especially around the knees and hocks, to give them a natural, lifelike appearance. This small curve adds realism and movement to your carving. Pay attention to the proportions. Deer legs should be thin and elongated, much thinner than the body, which is a key feature of their graceful look. As you carve, keep the shape of the legs consistent and smooth, but don't forget to add just enough detail to hint at the muscles and bone structure for extra realism. Now, let's move on to those sharp antler-like details. Start by carving out the basic shape of the antlers. Think of them as large, branching structures extending from the top of the head. Focus on getting the main shape and size right first. Once you've got the basic outline, work on the finer branches that spread out from the main beams. These should be thinner and more delicate as they extend outward. After the antlers are in place, shift focus to the face. Carve out the eyes, nose, and mouth, paying attention to the small but important details that make your deer's face look alive. When working on the body, add texture for the fur and make subtle adjustments to the legs and tail to give the deer a balanced, natural look. Remember, symmetry is crucial, So as you refine, keep checking that the left and right sides match up in proportion and detail. A well-balanced deer will feel much more realistic. Next, let's get a little quirky with a llama. Llamas have that long neck and a somewhat round body, so this one's a bit different from the deer. The main focus here is getting the neck length just right. Start by roughing out the body. Llamas have a compact body, so keep that in mind when shaping. Use your carving knife or gouge to block out the general shape. And make sure you leave enough material for the neck. This is what gives the llama that distinctive look. The neck is the key feature of the llama, so make sure you spend some time getting the proportions just right. It should be long and smooth, but not too thin. Remember, the neck gradually transitions into the head. Take your time here, especially when carving the neck's curve, to keep that natural look. Once the neck shape is set, it's time to refine the facial features. Start by carving out the eyes, making sure they're positioned evenly on the face. Next, move to the nose and mouth area, adding some depth so the llama's expression feels alive. Don't forget about the ears. Those long, slightly pointy ears are super important. Shape them so they're not too sharp, but still clearly defined, adding to that characteristic llama look. Now for the texture. To really make this llama stand out, use your V-tool to add some texture to the body. Llamas have a woolly coat, so carve in some light grooves to give it that fluffy, soft look. This is where attention to detail pays off. Don't go too deep with the grooves, just a light carving to suggest the fur's natural flow. These textures will make your llama come to life with that fuzzy charm. So take your time and get creative with the lines. Now let's carve a hippopotamus. Hippos are chunky creatures with big, round bodies and huge heads. So this one's all about capturing those large, solid shapes. Start by blocking out the body with your carving knife or gouge. The body should be broad and rounded, so focus on getting that massive shape down first. Don't rush. Take your time to carve the basic form. Once you've got that big, bulky shape, smooth out the edges a bit, but keep in mind that hippos have a natural roundness to them, so avoid making the body too angular. Now, let's dive into carving the head. Hippos have a huge head with wide jaws, so take your time shaping the face. The mouth is key, so carve a deep cut for the jawline and add detail to the lips. Remember, the lips on a hippo are thick and heavy, so emphasize that by carving them slightly raised. Also, hippos have those big, round nostrils on the top of their snout. Don't forget to carve those with some depth. Once the basic shape is in place, it's time to start adding the ears and those signature little eyes to give your hippo some personality. Next, carve in the tiny eyes, giving them just the right placement for that friendly but fierce expression. After that, refine the legs. Make them short and stout to reflect the hippo's heavy build. As you finish carving, you have a choice. Smooth it out or leave those tool marks for a more textured look. If you prefer a polished finish, take some fine grit sandpaper and gently sand the surface. This helps get rid of any bumps and gives your carving a nice, smooth touch. Just be careful around the details. You don't want to accidentally sand off any of your hard work. Once you're done sanding, you can leave the wood as is or apply a finish like oil or beeswax to protect it and give it a beautiful shine. So that's it. You've now got a simple guide to carving animal figures. Hopefully, This inspires you to jump in and start practicing. Don't shy away from carving animals. Step out of your comfort zone and try something new. Animal carving is a great way to sharpen your skills and add variety to your projects. The more you carve, the easier it'll be to shape those features and bring out all those little details. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more tips, and share your carving projects with us. We'd love to see what you create.